Ladies, have you ever wondered what makes certain women stand out in love? What is it that sets high-value women apart in relationships? It's not just about how they look or how they act. It's the way they carry themselves, their boundaries, and the love they give. Not just to others, but to themselves. A high-value woman knows her worth. She doesn't settle for less, and she doesn't seek validation from anyone else. Instead, she nurtures her own growth, her own happiness. She understands that true love is built on respect, communication, and trust. Not just passion or fleeting moments. But here's the difference. She doesn't need to chase love. She attracts it. She doesn't compromise who she is, and she never settles for being anything less than truly cherished. So what makes high-value women so magnetic in love? It's their deep self-respect and the power to make others feel the same. Let's explore what they do differently. Self-love is the cornerstone of everything high-value women do, especially when it comes to love. It's the very foundation upon which they build not just their relationships, but their entire life. It's about knowing your worth, understanding that you are deserving of respect, care, and kindness. Without self-love, it's impossible to attract the kind of love that high-value women experience. They don't rely on others to validate their worth. Instead, they show up as their true selves, confident in their value, and ready to build a partnership with someone who understands and appreciates them. At the heart of self-love is the understanding that no one else can make you feel complete. It doesn't matter how much someone else loves you if you don't love yourself first. High-value women recognize this truth, and it's why they never seek external validation to feel worthy or fulfilled. They already know they are enough. This is not about being arrogant or self-centered, but about having a deep, unwavering belief in their inherent worth, regardless of what anyone else thinks. For many people, the idea of self-love can seem foreign, even uncomfortable. We're often taught to be selfless, to put others before ourselves, and to seek approval from the people around us. But high-value women understand that true love begins from within. They know that if they don't love and take care of themselves first, they can't possibly give their best to anyone else. They believe in nurturing their own well-being, whether that's through physical self-care, emotional healing, or mental clarity. By doing so, they create a sense of balance and contentment within themselves that radiates outwards. Self-love means taking care of your own needs and not relying on someone else to meet them. This doesn't mean rejecting help or support from others. It means knowing that your happiness isn't dependent on anyone else. High-value women don't place the responsibility of their emotional well-being on their partner. They understand that their happiness is their own responsibility, and they don't give up their power to someone else. They take ownership of their feelings, and they don't give anyone the power to control or dictate their emotional state. They choose to be happy, to be at peace, and to create their own sense of fulfillment. Another crucial aspect of self-love is having high standards and refusing to settle for anything less than what you deserve. High-value women don't just accept the bare minimum from anyone, especially when it comes to relationships. They understand their worth, and they refuse to let anyone treat them poorly or take them for granted. When someone doesn't meet their standards, they don't chase after them or compromise their values. Instead, they walk away. They know that settling for less than they deserve is a betrayal to themselves. Self-love means being willing to walk away from a relationship that doesn't serve you, even if it's hard or painful. High-value women understand that letting go of something that no longer aligns with their values is not a weakness, but a strength. They refuse to stay in relationships that are toxic, unfulfilling, or disrespectful, even if it means being alone for a while. They know that being single is far better than being in a relationship where they're not valued or respected. They don't need to be in a relationship to feel complete because they already feel whole on their own. By practicing self-love, high-value women also create a sense of independence and resilience. They don't rely on their partner for emotional support or validation. Instead, they learn how to fill their own cup first so they can give from a place of abundance. This allows them to enter relationships not from a place of neediness or desperation, but from a place of strength, clarity, and stability. When they enter relationships, they do so because they genuinely want to share their love, not because they're seeking someone to save them or complete them. Self-love is also about setting boundaries. High-value women know that in order to protect their emotional well-being, they must establish clear, healthy boundaries with the people around them. They don't tolerate behaviors that are disrespectful, manipulative, or hurtful. They are not afraid to speak up when someone crosses a line, and they aren't afraid to walk away if someone isn't treating them the way they deserve. They value their peace and happiness above all else, and they understand that boundaries are necessary to protect both. In relationships, self-love plays a crucial role in how high-value women show up. They don't expect their partner to complete them, but instead, they bring their whole authentic self to the table. They aren't afraid to show their vulnerabilities, their flaws, or their imperfections. They know that they don't have to be perfect to be loved. They understand that true love isn't about finding someone who is flawless. It's about finding someone who accepts and loves them for who they truly are. High-value women don't let the opinions or criticisms of others dictate how they feel about themselves. They understand that people's perceptions are often based on their own insecurities and limitations. Instead of seeking validation from others, they trust their own judgment and rely on their inner sense of worth. They know who they are, and they are unapologetic about it. When you love yourself, you also make choices that reflect that love. You choose relationships that support your growth, that encourage your dreams, and that honor your values. High-value women don't settle for relationships that are toxic, abusive, or unfulfilling. They choose partners who align with their values, who respect their boundaries, and who treat them with the love and care they deserve. They don't just wait for love to come to them. They actively choose love that mirrors their self-worth. In essence, self-love is the compass that guides high-value women through life and love. It shapes their decisions, their boundaries, and their expectations. It's what allows them to walk away from relationships that don't serve them, and it's what empowers them to choose love that lifts them up rather than drags them down. Self-love isn't just a practice, it's a mindset, a way of life. When you love yourself first, you create the space for others to love you in the way you deserve. And you build relationships that are rooted in mutual respect, care, and understanding. High-value women know this, and that's why they never settle for anything less than love that reflects their own sense of worth. High-value women communicate with intention, and this is one of the most vital aspects of their relationships. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship, and how you communicate shapes the dynamic between you and your partner. A high-value woman doesn't rely on assumptions or hope that her partner will. Instead, she speaks clearly, directly, and with purpose, ensuring that her thoughts and feelings are understood, and she creates a safe space for her partner to do the same. She knows that love cannot thrive in silence or ambiguity, and open communication is the key to nurturing a healthy, growing connection. Effective communication is not just about talking. It's about understanding how your words, tone, and body language affect the other person. High-value women understand this and make a conscious effort to communicate in a way that fosters respect, understanding, and connection. They know that expressing themselves with clarity and honesty is the only way to ensure that their partner truly understands their needs, desires, and boundaries. By communicating openly, they create an environment where both partners can feel heard and valued. High-value women also recognize the importance of listening. Communication is a two-way street, and they don't just talk, they actively listen. They understand that listening is not just about hearing the words someone else is saying, but about truly understanding their feelings, concerns, and perspectives. They don't interrupt or dismiss their partner's thoughts. Instead, they listen with empathy, making sure their partner feels seen and heard. This active listening helps build trust, deepen emotional intimacy, and create a deeper connection. It also allows high-value women to learn more about their partner, which strengthens their relationship over time. When it comes to difficult conversations, high-value women approach them with a sense of calm and maturity. They understand that conflict is a natural part of any relationship, and they are not afraid to have hard conversations when necessary. However, they know that how these conversations are handled is just as important as the content of the conversation itself. High-value women don't yell, belittle, or use hurtful language to make their point. They approach conflict with respect, using I statements instead of blaming or accusing their partner. For example, instead of saying, "You never listen to me," they might say, "I feel unheard when we're talking, and it's important for me to feel that you're listening." This simple shift in language prevents defensiveness and creates space for both partners to share their feelings and work toward a solution together. They also know that timing is key when it comes to having difficult conversations. High-value women don't choose to address sensitive topics when emotions are running high or in the middle of an argument. Instead, they wait for a calm moment, when both partners are ready to listen and engage in a productive dialogue. They understand that effective communication is not about winning an argument, but about finding common ground and understanding each other's perspectives. It's about maintaining a sense of respect and working together to strengthen the relationship, rather than letting conflict tear it apart. Another important aspect of intentional communication is vulnerability. High-value women are not afraid to show their true selves, even when it's uncomfortable. They understand that vulnerability is not a weakness, but a strength. Being vulnerable with your partner means being open about your fears, your insecurities, and your desires. It means showing up as your authentic self and allowing your partner to see the real you. When a high-value woman expresses her vulnerability, she creates an opportunity for her partner to do the same. This shared openness fosters a deeper level of trust and intimacy, making the relationship stronger and more connected. But vulnerability doesn't mean oversharing or saying things impulsively. High-value women are mindful of how and when they open up. They understand that being vulnerable is not about dumping all of their emotions on their partner at once, but about sharing thoughts and feelings in a healthy, constructive way. They know that intentional vulnerability allows them to connect with their partner on a deeper level. But they are also careful not to overwhelm their partner with too much at once. High-value women also communicate their boundaries clearly. They don't leave their partner to guess what they are comfortable with or what they need. They express their needs and limits in a way that is direct yet respectful. They understand that boundaries are not a form of control, but a way to protect their emotional well-being and maintain a healthy dynamic in the relationship. Setting clear boundaries allows both partners to feel safe and secure, knowing that they can express themselves without fear of being taken advantage of or disrespected. When a high-value woman communicates, she does so with respect and care. She takes the time to understand her partner's feelings and needs, and she shares her own in a way that invites conversation and connection. She is mindful of her tone and body language, knowing that they play an important role in how her message is received. She also knows that nonverbal communication, the way she holds herself, her gestures, and her facial expressions, conveys just as much, if not more, than her words. High-value women are mindful of this, using their body language to show love, compassion, and understanding. Intentional communication also means being proactive, not reactive. High-value women don't wait for problems to escalate before addressing them. They are proactive in ensuring that issues are resolved before they become bigger challenges. They don't let resentment build up or avoid difficult conversations out of fear of conflict. Instead, they face issues head-on, addressing them in a calm and respectful manner. They understand that proactive communication is a sign of emotional maturity and emotional intelligence, and they make it a priority in their relationships. In relationships, high-value women understand that communication is the foundation of everything else. Without communication, there can be no trust, no intimacy, no understanding. They make it a point to foster open, honest, and respectful communication, knowing that it is the key to creating a healthy, thriving relationship. Through clear, intentional communication, they lay the groundwork for a strong partnership built on trust, mutual respect, and love. When two people are able to communicate effectively, they are able to navigate challenges, celebrate victories, and build a relationship that is truly fulfilling. For high-value women, communication isn't just a tool. It's the means by which they create deep, lasting love. High-value women understand the importance of setting strong boundaries, and this is a fundamental part of their approach to relationships. Boundaries are not about creating distance or walls between people. They are about creating an environment where both partners can thrive in a healthy and respectful way. For a high-value woman, boundaries are a form of self-respect, a way to ensure that her emotional, mental, and physical needs are met without compromising who she is or what she values. She understands that boundaries are a powerful tool in protecting her energy and maintaining a sense of balance in all areas of life, especially in relationships. One of the key reasons boundaries are so essential to high-value women is that they allow them to maintain a sense of independence and emotional stability. High-value women know that they can't give from an empty cup. If they are constantly bending to the will of others or allowing themselves to be drained by unhealthy relationships, they will lose their sense of self. Setting boundaries is a way for them to protect their personal space and energy. It ensures that they don't lose themselves in the process of loving someone else. These women know that their worth is not tied to how much they give or how much others need them. They are secure in who they are and prioritize their own well-being above all else. Setting boundaries also requires clarity. High-value women don't leave others guessing about their needs, limits, or expectations. They communicate their boundaries clearly and respectfully, ensuring that their partner understands what is acceptable. For instance, if a high-value woman feels that her partner is crossing a line, perhaps in terms of personal space, emotional manipulation, or disrespect, she will express this in a direct but calm way. She doesn't allow issues to fester or become unspoken resentments. Instead, she addresses them immediately and openly, ensuring that her partner understands her feelings and respects her wishes. Clear boundaries create an environment where both partners feel safe to express themselves honestly, without fear of judgment or criticism. High-value women also understand that boundaries are not meant to control others, but to protect themselves. They don't set boundaries as a way to manipulate or punish others. Instead, they set boundaries because they value their emotional and mental health and want to ensure that they are in relationships that are mutually fulfilling. They know that if their boundaries are violated, it's not a reflection of their worth, but rather of the other person's inability to respect them. When someone repeatedly crosses their boundaries, high-value women are not afraid to walk away from the relationship, even if it's painful. They know that their peace and self-respect are non-negotiable, and they won't compromise on them for anyone. Another important aspect of setting boundaries is knowing when to say no. High-value women are not afraid to say no when something doesn't align with their values, priorities, or needs. They don't feel guilty for saying no because they understand that saying no to something that isn't right for them is a way of saying yes to themselves. They know that every time they say yes to something they don't truly want or need, they are depleting their own energy and resources. Saying no doesn't make them selfish. It makes them responsible for their own well-being. High-value women embrace their right to say no without feeling obligated to explain or justify their decisions. Their time and energy are valuable, and they refuse to let others take advantage of them. Boundaries also help high-value women avoid toxic dynamics in relationships. They are not willing to tolerate disrespect, manipulation, or unhealthy behaviors from anyone, even if that person is a partner. They understand that staying in a toxic relationship, even out of a sense of loyalty or fear of being alone, only damages their self-esteem and emotional health in the long run. By setting clear boundaries and sticking to them, they protect themselves from being taken advantage of or mistreated. High-value women are not afraid to walk away from relationships that are not serving them, even if it means being single for a while. They know that a healthy relationship can only exist when both people honor and respect each other's boundaries. Setting boundaries also empowers high-value women to be authentic in their relationships. When they set clear boundaries, they are able to be true to themselves and show up as their real, unfiltered selves. They don't feel the need to hide their emotions or suppress their needs in order to please others. Instead, they express themselves freely and authentically, knowing that they deserve to be loved and accepted for who they truly are. By honoring their boundaries, high-value women create space for their partners to do the same. When both partners feel safe to be themselves, without fear of judgment or criticism, the relationship becomes a place of mutual respect and understanding. Another critical aspect of setting boundaries is knowing that boundaries evolve. High-value women understand that their needs and priorities may change over time, and they are open to reevaluating their boundaries as they grow and change. For example, they might find that a boundary that worked in the past no longer serves them, or that a certain situation requires a new set of boundaries. They are flexible and willing to adjust as needed, always keeping their emotional and mental well-being at the forefront. They don't rigidly hold on to boundaries just for the sake of it, but rather adjust them to ensure that they continue to protect their personal growth and happiness. Setting boundaries is not about building walls between you and others. It's about creating a healthy and respectful space where both people can feel valued and heard. High-value women understand that healthy boundaries allow relationships to flourish, not to shrink. By setting clear, respectful boundaries, they create the space for deep connection and intimacy without sacrificing their sense of self. They know that in order to truly love and care for someone else, they must first love and care for themselves, and setting boundaries is one of the most powerful ways to do that. At the heart of setting boundaries is self-respect. High-value women know that they are worthy of love, respect, and kindness, and they will not tolerate anything less. They set boundaries because they value themselves and know that they deserve to be treated with dignity. When others respect their boundaries, it strengthens the bond in the relationship. When someone disregards or disrespects their boundaries, it's a sign that the relationship may not be healthy or balanced. High-value women are not afraid to remove themselves from situations or relationships that are not aligned with their values or worth. In the end, boundaries are a form of self-care, self-respect, and self-love. High-value women understand that they cannot pour from an empty cup, and setting boundaries ensures that they have the space and energy to care for themselves and build healthy, fulfilling relationships. They know that by setting strong boundaries, they are not only protecting themselves, but also creating the foundation for a relationship based on mutual respect, understanding, and love. High-value women have a deep understanding of their worth and don't settle for less than they deserve in relationships. This clarity about their self-worth is what drives them to seek out relationships that are healthy, respectful, and nurturing. They know that they are deserving of love, care, and appreciation, and they won't settle for anything less than a partnership that mirrors their value. This mindset is not born out of arrogance, but from a place of self-awareness and self-love. They understand that the relationships they choose are reflections of their values, beliefs, and the respect they have for themselves. Therefore, they make conscious decisions about who they allow into their lives, never compromising on the quality of the relationships they invest in. A high-value woman is not desperate for validation or approval from others. She knows that her value is intrinsic, not determined by the opinions of others. This gives her the confidence to turn down relationships that don't serve her. When it comes to love, she doesn't chase after anyone or allow herself to be mistreated just to feel wanted. She recognizes that her time, energy, and heart are precious, and she doesn't want to waste them on a relationship that isn't mutually fulfilling. If someone isn't willing to treat her with the respect she deserves, she has the courage to walk away without hesitation. This is one of the key characteristics that set high-value women apart from others. They never settle for mediocrity, and they never allow themselves to be in relationships that don't honor their worth. The ability to not settle for less than what they deserve is also rooted in their understanding of what a healthy, thriving relationship looks like. High-value women have a clear vision of what they want in a partner, and they know that compromise doesn't mean lowering standards. They understand that relationships should be built on a foundation of mutual respect, trust, and shared values. These women are clear about what they bring to the table and what they expect in return. They want a partner who can offer emotional support, respect their boundaries, and be a genuine source of happiness and stability. High-value women recognize that relationships take work, but they are also clear that the right relationship should feel easy, in the sense that it complements their life rather than complicating it. In the face of challenges or difficulties, high-value women choose not to settle for unhealthy dynamics. They won't tolerate dishonesty, disrespect, or manipulation, and they won't excuse toxic behaviors simply to keep the peace or maintain the status quo. This doesn't mean they don't work through issues in their relationships, but it means they won't accept behaviors that undermine their well-being. If a partner is unwilling to grow, change, or show the necessary commitment, high-value women are not afraid to walk away. They understand that staying in an unfulfilling or toxic relationship only diminishes their sense of self-worth. They value themselves too much to stay in situations that will drain their energy or compromise their happiness. A high-value woman's ability to not settle for less also extends to her sense of purpose and life goals. She doesn't just settle for any job, living situation, or lifestyle because it's convenient. She knows that she has a unique purpose, and she actively works towards fulfilling it. This clarity about her purpose is something that shines through in her relationships as well. She wants a partner who supports her ambitions, encourages her personal growth, and values her individuality. High-value women are not looking for someone to complete them, but rather someone who complements their life. They don't settle for relationships where they are expected to dim their light or abandon their dreams for the sake of someone else's comfort. They want a partnership where both individuals can grow, evolve, and thrive together. When it comes to relationships, high-value women are also proactive in seeking out the kind of love they want. They don't sit back and wait for the right person to come along. They actively choose relationships that align with their vision for their life. They are not afraid to put in the effort to build a meaningful connection with someone who shares their values and goals. They understand that love isn't something that just happens by chance, but something that requires intentionality, effort, and mutual respect. High-value women don't waste time with relationships that don't serve their long-term happiness or growth. They prioritize their emotional health and well-being and make decisions based on what will bring them the most fulfillment and joy. This ability to not settle also reflects in how they set boundaries. They won't tolerate disrespect or mistreatment from anyone, not even from family or close friends. And high-value women know that boundaries are necessary to protect their peace and to ensure that they are always treated with the dignity and respect they deserve. They communicate their needs clearly and assertively without feeling guilty or apologetic. They don't allow others to take advantage of their time, energy, or kindness. This doesn't mean they are rigid or inflexible, but rather that they have a deep sense of self-respect that demands to be honored by others. High-value women don't settle for relationships where their boundaries are continuously crossed, and they will stand up for themselves when necessary. The impact of not settling for less than they deserve is evident in the relationships that high-value women build. They tend to attract individuals who are on the same level emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Their self-assurance and high standards serve as a magnet for people who are also looking for meaningful, respectful, and genuine relationships. Because they refuse to settle, they avoid toxic dynamics and attract people who are aligned with their values and goals. As a result, high-value women are able to build relationships that are not only fulfilling, but also sustainable in the long term. In the end, the key to why high-value women don't settle for less than they deserve is rooted in their deep understanding of their worth. They know that they are worthy of love, respect, and happiness, and they refuse to compromise on these values. They have the courage to walk away from relationships that do not serve them, and they hold out for partnerships that align with their standards. This commitment to their self-worth allows them to create the space for love that is truly deserving of them. Love that is healthy, respectful, and mutually fulfilling. High-value women don't just settle for the bare minimum, they choose the love that lifts them up and helps them grow.